You're just 11 content types away from dominating AI search. That's it. 11. In the next 20 plus minutes, I'm going to give you the exact playbook that top brands and creators are using to get their brand name mentioned on AI searches. No fluff, no filler, just the 11 content types you need to focus on right now. Let's go. So this video is categorized into 3 sections. Content types that build brand authority and citations, and then the content types that foster brand mentions, and finally the content types for individuals like personal coaches, trainers, freelancers, etc. So let's start with the first content type in the first category. We are not just talking about sprinkling a few questions at the bottom of a blog post. We are talking about creating a dedicated, comprehensive resource that directly answers the most common questions your customers may have. For example, if you have a Netflix subscription and on your credit card bill, you find an unrecognized charge from Netflix. You will go to Google and search for "there is an unauthorized charge from Netflix," and you will be expecting a resolution on the issue. And then Google AI Overview will show you all the steps required to solve the problem. The AI cited the page from Netflix and talks about the issue, and check it out. It is an FAQ page that shows all the different reasons you may have for an unrecognized or unauthorized charges from Netflix. And this page is part of a help center for Netflix, which shares all the different issues Netflix users might face. And within each issue is different FAQ pages. So within your brand or business, if you have encountered frequently asked questions, be it billing matters, technical issues, or whatever, you should create a complete self-help center with individual FAQ pages so that your customers can easily find and navigate their issues. This not only promotes branded search queries but also shows that you are solving problems before your customers even have to contact support. When AI platforms cite your help center pages, you're not just getting visibility. You are building trust. You're positioning your brand as the authority that has already thought through every problem your customers might face. As we said, brand authority is the key to success in the age of AI, and data-backed content and original research is one of the ways to build your brand's authority. We are not just talking about curating information, we are talking about creating it. You're conducting your own surveys, analyzing your own data, and publishing your own findings. This is how you become the source of truth. Think about it. When an AI is looking for a credible source, what is it going to choose? A generic blog post that rehashes the same old information, or a detailed report with original data and unique insights? It's a no-brainer, and the data proves it. A study by Conversion Digital, which is a digital marketing agency, said that Google's AI systems heavily rely on original research, data, and analysis when selecting sources. I did a couple of searches on Google as well, such as this where I asked Google to explore current trends, and it cited information from these pages. For example, this statistic, 70% of gym goers are looking for hybrid experiences. This is cited from this page, which is right here. And then I asked another question about, do AI overviews cite top 10 Google ranking pages? And it cited these statistics from these high authority pages. So the evidence is clear. Creating data-backed content through original research such as surveys, interviews, analyzing internal data, etc. can help you build a brand that AI platforms trust and cite. A good example of a data-driven content is Ahrefs. Check this out. As I click on the cited source, the AI is actually getting information from their key findings section. You've got to get your data in an easy to digest bullet points, and you can share all your supporting data and information in an easily consumable format. As you can see, there are more visuals like infographics, images, and tables than words. So you have got to learn from this. So learn from this if you want to create data-driven content that AI will cite and reference. Forget about writing a full-blown what is or how-to articles. You should focus on writing glossary and terminology pages instead. Glossary and terminology pages are where you define key terms and jargon in your industry, and it might not seem like the most exciting content to create, but it's incredibly valuable for both users and AI. Just take for example this search query, what are zombie pages? The AI mode provides a clear and structured answer, and let's check out its cited sources. One of them is written by our team. It is a page that provides a short and direct answer to the term zombie pages. You see, it is not a very long page, and it is focused on this one term, zombie pages. Now, this page is part of our SEO glossary that lists all the different technical terms and jargon. But your question is, if the AI provides a direct answer and it doesn't translate into a click, what's the point of being cited, right? Check this out. I asked the same question, is it true or false based on the AI model's trained knowledge? If a website is being cited as a source and it sells a product or service, will it often get mentioned as a solution when the user asks for a recommendation? ChatGPT replied with mostly true but not automatically. Perplexity answered with the statement is partly true but oversimplified. And Google AI Mode said it is true that websites frequently cited as authoritative sources are more likely to be mentioned as solutions or recommendations. So often being cited by AI with queries related to your space or niche is one of the criteria for being mentioned as a solution. Of course, there are other factors like the intent and user requirements, etc. But if your content is often cited as an authoritative source, you have a leg up on your competitors, so start creating glossary pages. Think about it, when an AI is looking for a credible source to cite, it's not going to choose a flimsy 500-word blog post. It's going to look for a detailed, well-researched article from a trusted source. And the data proves it. A study by generative-engine.org found that AI systems are increasingly rewarding individual expertise over faceless brands. And it further states that the industry is moving from faceless aggregated answers towards more transparent citations. Authors with persistent digital identities will gain brand equivalent influence. This means that a blog post from a recognized expert in your company is going to carry a lot more weight than a generic post from your marketing team. Some good examples are Copy Blogger's blog, which often features Charles Miller, who is the CEO of Copy Blogger and who has a strong presence in the digital marketing space. And then the Ahrefs blog, which is run by a group of digital marketing experts. And RankMath's blog content is published in the name of Banu. Notice that these brands do not publish content based on a brand name. They publish it based on the author's name. Let's take a look at a good example of an expert-written blog post. This is published on the Moz blog, and it is written by Elizabeth Rue, who is a senior SEO strategist and account manager at Sterling Sky, which is an agency that helps local businesses. Basically a practitioner. And as you can see, it is packed with actionable advice, real-world examples, and data-backed insights. The AI can see the author's expertise, the depth of the content, and the engagement that it's getting. This is a powerful signal of authority that is incredibly difficult to fake. So for businesses, it will be in your best interest to have experts in the field write content for you, be it in a typical employment, guest post, freelance, or invitation, to improve AI visibility. For a long time, video was a black box for search engines. They could only see the title and description, but they couldn't really understand the content of the video itself. But that's all changed. Now, AI can read the transcript of your video and it is using the information to answer user queries. This is a massive opportunity. A study by Bylines found that AI engines treat each YouTube video as a structured text asset that can be cited in answers. Optimizing these text signals help AI cite your brand more often, especially for educational and how-to queries. And this is especially helpful for B2B businesses. This means that every video you create is another piece of content that can be cited and referenced by AI. And do you know AI overviews often cite YouTube videos as a source? For example, a simple search on the keyword simple daily exercise, and you will see an AI overview with a YouTube video cited as a source. The search term how does gummy measure stress, and you will see the YouTube video from the brand itself being cited as a source. Best ways to learn Japanese? You will see AI overviews citing multiple YouTube videos. And even how to be mentioned in AI search cited one of our videos as a source for their AI overviews. The AI can see the title, the description, and the transcript, and it can use all that information to understand what the video is about and whether it is a good answer to the user's query. So if your brand or business has not started a YouTube channel yet, I think it is time that you invest some resources in it. Press releases are a strategic approach to getting your news in front of the right people, and by people, I mean journalists and AI that reads their work. A recent MarkRank report found that press release citations in AI have grown 500% in just the last 5 months. And a recent study by Sonic found that when users search for brands, press releases get a 2.3 times lift in AI citations. This is not a small shift. This is a complete rewriting of the PR playbook. For example, Notified conducted a massive study analyzing 200,000 Globe Newswire press releases and 13 million AI citations. They found one standout example: American Battery Technology Company. This was not a press release from Apple or Microsoft. This was from a lesser-known B2B brand. And here's what happened. A single press release received 1,679 AI citations in just 30 days. But here's the crazy part. This lesser-known company outperformed a nationally recognized B2C retailer by 3.4 times more citations and outperformed a B2B sector peer by 23 times more citations. Do you see what's happening here? Structure beats brand size. A well-structured press release from an unknown company gets cited more by AI than a poorly structured one from a household name. So how do you make this work for you? It's a two-step process. First, you need to write press releases that are optimized for AI. This means they need to be structured, data-rich, and answer-focused. Cited press releases have 2 times more statistics, 2.5 times more bullet points, and 30% more objective sentences. You are not just writing for journalists anymore. You are writing for the machines that read their work. But here's the critical part. You need to end every press release with a dedicated FAQ section. This isn't optional anymore. When you add FAQs to your press releases, you are giving AI systems the exact language your customers, analysts, and journalists might use. Second, you need to understand that press releases don't work in isolation. The Mark Red report also found that there's only a 2% overlap between the journalists that the PR teams are pitching and the journalists that the AI is actually citing. This means that most PR teams are completely missing the mark. You need to identify the journalists and publications that are being cited in your niche and target them relentlessly. But here's the beautiful part. Once your press release is out there, it becomes what Sarah Evans from Zen Media calls a single release is now a window into prompts, citations, backlinks, and retrievability, rewriting what PR teams can do with wired distribution. It's no longer just a compliance exercise, it's a generative AI visibility engine, a structured, machine-readable artifact that trains models, seeds authority pages, and determines whether your brand is retrievable when someone asks a high-value question. We are not talking about a comprehensive guide to an informational topic that targets the top of the funnel. We are talking about a full-blown educational framework that teaches users how to make an informed decision. We are leading customers from the middle of the funnel to the bottom of the funnel in the customer journey. For example, I imagine myself as a social media agency looking for a social marketing tool. I've included all these requirements, and Google AI Mode provided me with the following recommendations. And check out what is being cited. One of them is this social media management pricing and software cost guide. Another example is I imagine myself running a small gym, looking for a web platform that can run my business online. And these are the requirements. And it has provided us with these tools. But check out what is being cited and referenced. One of them is Fitness Studio Software Buyer's Guide. And this was written by one of the brands that were being mentioned. So if you run any kind of business, it will be in your best interest to create a really comprehensive buying guide that will teach or show your customers how to make an informed decision without being biased. Of course, you can slip in your brand as a solution in the guide. So other than the buyer's guide, let's talk about the next content type. Alright, let's talk about the content types that directly drives revenue and gets your brand mentioned when it matters most. Commercial intent content. We are talking about comparison pages, review content, best of pages, and alternative pages. AI is leaning heavily on this type of content to make recommendations. The same study we have talked about by Sonic found that when users search for brands, comparison pages get a 2.7 times lift in AI citations, and reviews jump by a staggering 637%. This is where the battle for AI visibility is being won and lost. For example, I imagine myself as a freelance graphic designer. I have a budget of $50 a month, and I need a tool that can handle vector illustration, photo editing, and social media templates. I'm a one-person shop, and it needs to be easy to use. So I go to Google AI Mode and type in my requirements, and it gave me a few recommendations. And check out what's being cited. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, a total of 7 comparison pages being cited and referenced. And then we have listicles and reviews. And in another example where I imagine myself as a freelance photographer complaining about the high cost of Photoshop, it provided me with these other products. And check out what's being cited. Other than listicles, there are many alternative pages being cited as sources. Do you see what's happening? The AI is not making these recommendations out of thin air. It is pulling information from these high authority commercial intent pages. The brands that are mentioned in these pages are the ones that get recommended. If you are not on these pages, you are invisible. So what does this mean to you? It means you need a two-pronged approach. First, you need to create your own commercial intent pages. You need a your product versus your competitor page. You need a best your product category page like best WordPress SEO plugins page. And you need a competitor alternatives page like Yoast alternatives. These pages need to be brutally honest and incredibly detailed. They need to be the best resource on the internet for that topic. Second, you need to get your brand included on high authority third-party sites that are already creating this type of content. You need to be on the CNETs, the PCMags, and the nerd wallets of your industry. This is not just about getting a backlink, it's about getting your brand mentioned in the content that AI is using to make recommendations. This is how you win in the age of AI. You create the best commercial intent content in your niche and you get your brand included in the best commercial intent content on the web. It's that simple and it's that hard. So aside from commercial intent content, let's talk about the next content type. A good example of case studies and a case studies hub is Sprout Social. It demonstrates how its products solve many different problems in different situations for its customers. This is the kind of content that trains AI models to associate your brand with solving specific problems. Also, a recent study by Search Engine Land and Fractal analyzed over 8,000 keywords across 25 verticals, found that foundational models seem to prioritize publishers that provide topic depth over topic breadth, and educational value and conceptual clarity over traditional web authority signals. So your domain authority 90 site might be invisible to ChatGPT if it doesn't clearly and effectively explain concepts and how your products solve problems for others. This means that when you document how your products solve problem X in situation Y, you are training AI models to associate your brand with solving that specific problem. The more scenarios and situations you document, the more your brand gets mentioned. Include everything that you can share in the case studies. For example, the budget, the cost, the situation your customer is in, etc. Now, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. If you are an individual creator relying on affiliate income, you are in trouble. But if you understand this type of content, you have a massive opportunity. Here's the reality. The click economy is over. AI search is reducing clicks by 40 to 50%. Traffic to major publishers has dropped from 2.3 billion visitors to under 1.7 billion. And for individual creators, this is devastating. Your affiliate links aren't getting clicked, your ad revenue is drying up, the traffic-based monetization model that worked for the last 10 years is dead. But here's the opportunity. 99% of buyers consider thought leadership critical in decision making, and 73% trust it more than traditional advertising. This means personal brands are now worth more than traffic. Here's the difference. Imagine creator A relies on affiliate marketing and ad revenue and gets $3,000 to $5,000 monthly from clicks, but as AI eliminates clicks, their income collapses. Creator B, on the other hand, builds a personal brand through thought leadership on LinkedIn, Medium, and their newsletter. They monetize through consulting, online courses, sponsorships, and speaking, totaling a huge monthly income, and none of the revenue depends on search clicks. The strategy is simple. First, publish thought leadership content on external platforms consistently, for example, podcasts, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, etc. Establish yourself as a genuine expert in your niche. Second, build an email list, your direct relationship with your audience. Third, monetize through multiple channels, consulting, online courses, speaking engagements, sponsorships, licensing deals, etc. When you build authority, opportunities come to you. Companies want to hire you, events want you to speak, brands want to sponsor you, your personal brand becomes your business. In the zero-click era, personal brands are infinitely more valuable than traffic, expertise is worth more than clicks, authority is worth more than affiliate commissions. The individuals who understand this will thrive. So these are the 11 content types that will grow your brand authority that leads to citations and brand mentions. Do you think any other content types matter in the AI search era? Let us know in the comments down below, and don't forget to smash that thumbs up. Our channel is all about helping you grow your brand influence, and if you haven't subscribed to us yet, consider doing so. This is Jack from Rank Math. I'll see you in the next video.